For us there from Ramallah. Thank you. Now let's get more from Ahmed Aliolo, who is in Leicester for us. Ahmed, how important is this for the Palestinian people, would you say?
Well, Maria, it is very important. If you remember back in 2018, especially in September last year, the Palestinian Authority filed a complaint against Israel in the ICC, the International Criminal Court, and they've been waiting for this probe to take place in the Gaza Strip and West Bank, where the Israelis have been targeting civilians for the past almost 2 years, and no Israeli has been killed. You remember in the march of return along the Gaza-Israel border, like hundreds of Palestinians were killed, and none of the Israelis was even injured, and still Israel is proclaiming that the Gaza Strip is posing a threat to its national security and sovereignty. But none of this is happening on the ground. The international community was watching without even a condemnation, the complete backing of the Donald Trump to the Netanyahu government. And now in the UK, Boris Johnson, there is a report speaking about his intention to relocate the embassy as well from Jerusalem from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. So the international community is, to say the least, kind of complicit with the Israeli crime. This kind of investigation is going to bring back the Israeli crime in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, with the annexation and the expansion of the settlement to the forefront and to the headlines, which is something the Palestinians would consider very important to kind of bring life again to their cause after it has been fading away from front pages.
Indeed, and as you say, it could, put it back in the spotlight again. But realistically, can this decision by the ICC change anything on the ground?
Well, to be honest, like, we've been hearing about this investigation since 2014, and the Israelis continued to act above the law as a kind of a country or a state that does not respect the international law. Now, what Benjamin Netanyahu is saying, the ICC does not have the jurisdiction and is not entitled to open such a case, because the petition should be coming from a sovereign state asking for opening such an investigation. But it is still a kind of a fly in the face of occupation against the huge wave of the international complicity with the Israeli occupation, especially when taking into account what's happening from the American administration from the one hand, and the complete silence of the international community. I think it's not going to make a major change on the ground. The Israelis are going to continue with their policy of annexation. We only can count, as Palestinian people, they only can count on the kind of the domestic politics in Israel. If there is a pressure on Netanyahu that can change as a prime minister, another prime minister may come and kind of bring back the peaceful talk with the Palestinian Authority, though it is not a kind of applicable or feasible in the near future. So it's so complicated, and I don't think that this kind of investigation is going to change a lot dramatic events on the ground. But let's hope that things can change and this investigation may bring the crimes to an end.
Ahmed Aliolo, appreciate your analysis. Thank you. Now, the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan